The first person to go down Imogene in 2023.
Legally. So we're gonna give him a tug and a beer. It's disgusting. There's been a few people come try to get him out. Looks like the Excursion is gonna be the only one to succeed. All right, there's the first trail repair. Not gonna lie, it sounds like hell. The only thing up here heavier than me. Well, unfortunately, Imogene's not a through trail right now. The Telluride side's a little jacked up, so we can't go over, but we can go to the top, see the views. So we're gonna go do Yankee Boy first, come back out, and then hit Imogene. Then I think we're gonna head north. North.
We're doing Yankee.
Kyle's in a hurry and just goes wherever. Who cares about signs? That's right, folks. I need supplemental oxygen to video at altitude. It's good stuff.
Little termite damage on that mine.
We're at Twin Falls on the Yankee Boy Basin Trail because there's two of them.
Trying to beat the tour bus. Jamin hasn't run this fast since high school. Like a Nart can for an out of shape, middle-aged ogre.
That's me. Yeah, we gotta beat the
It's just oxygen.
tour bus. All right, we just finished Yankee Boy Basin. Now we're gonna do Imogene Pass for time.
Now the dust will stick better than our undercarriage.
I know, right? I got them tires clean so I can get new dust on them.
Imogene 2.0.
Only thing up here heavier than me. A D5 dozer.
A lot more snow up here this year, eh?
Yeah, it's quite humid this time. All right, we made it to the top. So the Telluride side of Imogene Pass just opened an hour ago. That's crazy luck. So we're gonna head down to Telluride, grab some beers, grab some lunch. We'll figure out where we're going from there.
Jamin, how does it feel to be the first person to go down Imogene in 2023?
Well, I really want to thank all my sponsors for making this happen, and thank my lovely wife for letting me do this.
The question was, how do you feel?
How do I feel?
Coffee's good.
Well, I feel a lot better if I was on the non-ledge side, because the last time I did this, I was on the wall side, and I couldn't see how close we were to death. This time, I get to experience the feeling of certain death just over the edge.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great.
This guy has no idea what he's in for.
So this is the Tomboy Mine site, or Tomboy Town. It's part of the way up from Telluride to Imogene Pass. Really cool old mining structure. I mean, the foundation structure is huge. There's an old boiler over there, I think. Just a lot of cool stuff up here to see. We're gonna head on down to Telluride and get a late lunch. All right, there's the first trail repair. You can see a little oil under the diff. The hydraulic assist mounted to the diff is convenient, but it will loosen the diff cover bolts up with enough time on the trail. So I keep this in the glove box for when it starts leaking oil. Black Bear's not open yet, and it's not going to open anytime soon, so we're not going to run it. But we're on Imogene, and I can show it to you. There's the infamous switchbacks.
So where are we about to go through?
Going through Social Tunnel. It's called Social Tunnel because all the folks used to work up here in the mills and the mines come down here to get a piece. A pie. A piece of pie. It's a dessert tunnel. Kyle parks us next to a jail and doesn't even lock the dang truck. Gingers. Anyway, get a few beers, get some lunch, hit the trail. Glenwood Springs is a really cool place to get a beer and some food. But if you camp out under this overpass, you could get pooped on by a pigeon. like that woman. That's funny.
13 miles?
Yeah. We took the transfer trail out of Glenwood Springs. I'm not sure where it transfers to, but it's very bumpy and narrow, so I don't recommend it for an excursion. I got a lot of new graphics on the side of my truck now. Pretty awesome little spot here called Windy Point. There was a marmot here when we pulled up, and now there's just marmot poop here, so watch out for the little mountain beaver landmines. We're over 10,000 feet and I can't breathe again. Back on the sauce. Some guys were coming out and just told us there's a guy up here in a yellow 400 that's been stuck for 2 days, so they said we're probably big enough to get him out, so we're gonna go see if we can't find him.
So what are we doing here?
Running across a guy who's gotten stuck in what appears to be a 4Runner, and we are going to attempt to get him out. I got a gigantic worn winch and I got a girthy truck, so I think we can get him out. Never used the winch with the recovery gear, so it just makes sense to use it on a Yoda.
And how long has he been stuck?
2 days. So we're gonna give him a tug and a beer.
And he pulled up and he was wearing a mosquito net.
Mosquito net, lots of mosquitoes here. So, let's see what we got the Excursion anchored up. The 400's completely dead. We're not real sure what's the deal, but we'll take a better look at it when we get it out of the mud. I'm optimistic. Got the Excursion on the 1100 RPM high idle. Warrant 16.5. Got the factory 55 ultra hook and all that jazz. Slowly but surely. Not gonna lie, it sounds like hell.
How's our wings?
Doing work. Doing work. There's been a few people come try to get him out. Like the Excursion is going to be the only one to succeed. Good looking at 4Runner. I hate that it was full of water about 30 seconds ago. Hey, you want to put it in park? I'll unhook and throw you back out of the mud if you want. Beer, man? Yeah. So, what are you planning to do?
I have no idea.
Do you want to leave it here?
I don't know what the damages are.
Well, could be a fuse. We got the 4Runner out of the bog, but it is still inoperable. Some kind of electrical issue, but one of his friends and a local 4-wheel drive club member showed up. And he's got a voltmeter, so he's actually useful, unlike me. But we're not camping in all these mosquitoes, so we're gonna head back down to town and find a hotel room. We saw a broke down Toyota and a moose all on the same trail. It's like 2 unicorns in one trail. swarms of pterodactyl-sized mosquitoes. This trail is pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead and say though, I do not recommend. What trail are we even on?
Still part of transfer.
Transfer trail. I'm not a fan of transfer trail. Just throwing it out there. It's rocky, it's bumpy, still in the trees, so you can't get these crazy views. And Alpine Lake or Flat Top Lake is just slang for Denver swamp. It's just bugs everywhere. I now know what it's like to be in Alaska, and I may never go there now. Crash here in Glenwood Springs again last night. Got off the trail pretty late. Truck's got a lot of mud and dirt on it, so we're gonna blow it off at the car wash and make room for new mud and dirt. Looks like I picked up some full-length graphics on the side of the truck yesterday on that narrow trail. Have to buff on that when I get home. It's about as shined up as it's gonna be. We're about to hit what I would consider to be the prettiest stretch of interstate you can drive in this country, heading east on 70 out of Glenwood Springs, Colorado. Beautiful. Alright, we left Glenwood Springs and headed northeast, north, I don't know. But we're somewhere in the White River National Forest and we're about to hit Sheephorn Road. Sheephorn, it's French. We are here. That's an ominous sight. Come off the trail and you need to air up your tires. You want to do the smart thing and wait till the last second and then air them up on the side of a busy highway.
It's an overpass for cows.
Is that a Colorado thing or do they have that elsewhere? We don't have that in Georgia. It's a bovine bridge. We made it to Rocky Mountain National Park, and then I think we exited the park. We're not real sure. We're on some forest road trails out here. I mean, this is basically off-roading. This is extreme overlanding.
Super extreme.
Super extreme. We got rocks the size of cantaloupes and I don't know, zucchinis. Anyway, we're going up this hill. We're looking for a camp spot, and this is about the most extreme thing we've seen in today. GoPro's tough, frame mount's tough. It's not, I can get run over with an Excursion and keep doing my job tough though. That kind of sucks. There's really good cell phone service on this road.
What's happening right now?
We are reclaiming an old campsite. It's kind of off the Jeep trail. The problem with the other trails is all the Subarus take up all the camping spots. That's what overlanding is getting where the Subarus can't go. That's what we're doing. We have made camp for the night. The CVT set up. Got the fire going. I got the ginger on dinner. There was sauteed onions in that pot. We're eating chili dogs, drinking cold beer. And then we're all gonna pile into that tent and rethink our life choices. We don't have to worry about bears. We're in Grand Lake, Colorado. And this part of the mountain burnt in 2020. So the only wildlife we've seen since we've been here is mosquitoes. Big ones. But we do have plenty of well-seasoned firewood and no chance of burning the forest down with our improper campfire etiquette. Improper campfire etiquette. Chili dog with onions. Definitely what you want to eat before you get in a tent with a bunch of other people. Turns out Rocky Mountain mosquitoes are just built different, so rolling out this morning without breakfast. We'll try to find a Waffle House or something and maybe get in a fight. I don't know. Probably time to check the oil in this pig. Haven't done it the whole trip. So you can take a quart. The good stuff. The cheapest thing I could find.
So what are we doing here?
So it turns out if you want to go into Rocky Mountain National Park between the hours of 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. Mountain Time, you need a reservation. We didn't have a reservation. So we're at some random picnic area on some random lake. And we're about to start drinking beer and cooking breakfast because that just seems like the thing to do on the Sabbath. We'll get in the park later. That's Lake Granby, and this is the Rainbow Bay picnic area. I got the big ginger over here making Sunday brunch. We got brats and beer and all that. Got ginger number 2 down here in the lake taking a bath. And I'm gonna dig that gallon of oil out of the storage box and pour some in the motor. It sweats a little horsepower, so I have to pour a quart in it every 2,000 or 3,000 miles. Ain't even got in the park yet. Got a moose. It's 2 o'clock. Finally getting into the park. Get your reservations, folks. Here you see the Rocky Mountain National Park Elks Lodge. Okay, we made it through Rocky Mountain National Park. There was a bunch of elk and some traffic, so now we're in Longmont, North Carolina. We're not in Longmont, North Carolina. We're in Longmont, Colorado, at one of my favorite breweries. Left Hand Brewing, and they've got a lot on nitro. Peanut butter stout, key lime pie. Ale? What is that? It's a key lime alcoholic beverage on nitro, that's all I know. No trails today. I got one of the gingers flying out of the Denver airport this afternoon, so we're just gonna get our engineer on today. We are here at the Forney or Forney Transportation Museum, and I'm pretty excited about what's behind that door. You probably figured out based on what leads up to it. Only in Colorado. That's an REO Speedwagon if I've ever seen one.
That's the crank.
Yeah, hand crank. All you fellas think you're something with your 26s. 36s on a 1913 Cadillac. This is the Union Pacific Big Boy, serial number 4005, and it's massive. I believe it's serial number 4014 that they've restored and they actually tour around the country so you can see it going up and down the tracks. Snowblower, I think that might be the train from Snowpiercer, not certain. If I gotta have a snowblower, I want one mounted to the front of a train. I promise you this train ends somewhere back there. Towmater's got nothing on a train wrecker. This thing's freaking cool. That's such a huge hook. Look at that stick. Pretty cool. If there was ever a valve that I would want to turn, it would be the dynamo steam valve. I have no idea what a dynamo steam valve does, but I really, really want to turn it. The big boys were built in the early 1940s. It's 132 feet long and weighs about 600 tons. This one was actually involved in a derailment accident in the 50s. It actually killed a few of the crew members on board. But now it's here, and it's a museum piece, and it's really, really cool. I like trains. Is that the six-wheel car that was in like Captain America? And was the car in Sahara? Did that have six wheels? 1923 Hispano Souza. That's how you pronounce it in Georgia anyway. This is what happens when you throw a motor on a lawn chair. You get an ultralight. No thanks. 60s model helicopter, and believe it or not, this aircraft design right here is a 1937 design. Now this one was built in 57, but the actual first one of these flew in 37. It's wild. All the scooters, old military Jeep, Case steam tractor. It's multi-fuel. I wonder if there's any slop in that steering system. And the original overland vehicle. Planes, trains, and automobiles. Seems like it'd be a good name for a movie. All right, just dropped all the gingers off at the airport here in Denver. Now I gotta drive 8 hours to Jackson Hole because my family's flying into there tonight. And then I gotta be a family man for the next week. I find a Walmart. I need to Swiffer the inside of this thing. It's disgusting. All right, let's hit the road and head to Jackson Hole.